This is a poem by Rosemary Wahtola Turner, Wahtola. When my arms were the most empty, when my hands were unable to hold anything, and I was the most unselved, when I felt the most, that's when I felt the most gathered up by love, an immeasurable and wildly precise love, even when I wanted to push love away, even when I felt too broken to be found. I think we can all identify with that. I'll try to speak up. I've got a little bit of a throat thing going on. A little more than usual. So, yeah, when I'm empty, that's when I can receive. And sometimes that's when, is it this one? That's when, you know, when we're busted, when our ego has just been smashed by something, when we think we can't, that love is inaccessible. There it is. It rushes in. King of Wands rushes in. King of Wands is a very intentional energy. You know, I know what to do. I know how to do it. I know how to get there. All these Wands attributes. Very self-confident. You know, and it's a warm energy, lion-hearted, Leo-like. It's a fire sign. And with the sun shining right behind this person, it's very evocative of Leo, of just courage and strength and transparency. Even when I pushed love away, even when I felt too broken to be found, well, somebody may be finding somebody else and kind of not doing it for them, but just by their very presence, sharing the power of trusting your gut. To move toward what's good for you, what brings you happiness, what supports your growth. See, the wand is sprouting, you know, little sprouts. All right. Tell us about this fire sign, please. And it doesn't have to be a fire sign, nor when I say a Leo, does it have to be a Leo. That's just the energy of it. Doesn't have to be a man. You know, everything in tarot is really fluid, so don't... Page of Wands. You know, this is the person who's trying to map out the journey. I know where to go. I'm intending to go there. I'm heading out. It's the first steps on the path, on this path, that leads directionally toward something I'm very determined about. I know where to go and what to do. And it's sort of a hit the road jack time. And see, this one here almost looks like a pointer. You know, if this is the map, this is sort of X marks the spot. So I think this person knows where they're intending to go. Oh, and I'm not sure because I'm not wearing my glasses, but it looks like there's a tiny little X there. Somebody has identified through intuition, you know, through a creative, like mastery. I figured it out. X marks the spot. Okay. Where is King of Wands going? Or what is he doing? Wands are very much about doing. Well, being reborn, busy being born. He who is not busy being born is dying, says Bob Dylan, the bard. Somebody's busy being born. You know, they're rising to their second life on the basis of some decision or judgment call. It's like they're now able to answer the powerful call of their psyche. It's helped them determine the direction, and it's given them courage to move on it. Wings to fly. Under King of Wands, yeah, perfect strength card, that Leo energy I was talking about. Coming into your power. You know, this person's sitting on a lotus, so part of what their courage is to take control of their own spiritual life, to realize that they are, they get their power, in fact, from a transparency, a willingness to be seen. And this is usually a card of mutual, it's a symbiosis card. It's, you know, I'm linked to somebody in this kind of eternal loop. We give each other energy, we give each other power, and it's in part, it's spiritual power. And in this case, sitting in lotus position on a lotus, you know, this person is intending to go somewhere. But on the archetypal level, it involves like a spiritual trust in a relationship, in something that is outside time, this eternity, you know, the eternity symbol above this person's head. They're tapping into a place of no time. But in 3D, it's very intentional. You know, I know the path. I'm planning to walk the path, inspired by. It's going to take their courage, but like, are they up to the task? It sure looks like it. They've made a decision to do this, to be strong, to summon their courage. I think that this path is for reasons we don't yet understand, challenging for this person, because it's a new path. It's page energy. They're a king, but this is like a brand new. But they know the way. And you know, to have the strength to ascend. I'm a little worried about Rue here and the candle. To break trail, Page of Wands. To enter a new life. Yeah, Temperance, also fire energy. Boy, this is full of fire, this reading. Card of Sagittarius. You know, we have the wings here, and we have the wings here. And I see this card as being sort of like a surrender to spirit. You know, the head is not even in the equation. It's all about creativity, fire, heart, passion, purpose. And again, this card of melding, you know, Temperance card, the alchemy of the blend. And this is the same thing. Once you achieve this balance, this healing energy, get the alchemy right, you know, that gives you courage. It gives you strength. You give strength to each other. In no way does this path involve depleting your own self, like surrendering yourself. You get strength from each other. And I think I usually see this card as how to deal with pain together, to have the courage to face the future, to do what you need to do. You know, removing the thorn from the lion's paw. It takes courage and bravery to do that. You know, Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel went into the den because this animal was howling in pain, and he went in and he pulled the thorn out of the lion's paw, and the lion did not eat his face off. He pulled the thorn out. This is where this person is they're intending to do that. And pulling the thorn out of somebody else's paw pulls it out of your own paw. You know, it's like the two things, the two cups, the blend of the two is transformational. The wings of the butterfly here in the Judgment card. 3 major arcana out of 5. This is a big deal. This involves a lot of deep energy in the psyche. And as it's expressed in 3D is all about doing it, being brave, owning it. 6 of Swords. You know, remember I said this one has no head, that's not about thinking. You know, you can't think your way through this alchemy. This is moving on in sword energy to a calmer place. This is a card of peace, equilibrium, healing, moving on out of 5 of Swords, which is a kind of mental, you know, it's fighting or it's contention or it's feeling divided. This is moving on toward peace. And again, we have the butterfly, you know, here in the angelic thing with wings. And again, in the angelic thing with wings, energy, you know, it's hard to name those archetypal energies, but here you see it in 3D as moving on to a more peaceful place. It involves a transformation. It involves courage and the ability to accept new life. You know, it takes courage to do that. To pull the thorn, the kind of sword thing, the thorn, out of the lion's paw and use it to move forward, to change the way you think about something. On strength, we have 7 of Pentacles. That's a long-term investment. That's kind of the card of the harvest. You know, in real terms, in pentacle terms, what has this harvest yielded me? I've spent a lot of time cultivating something. Now it's time to see, you know, because this is a card of assessment. Like when I go to gather in the fruits of my labor, you know, what's the yield? I've spent a lot of time and energy doing this. What have I got to show for it? Pentacles energy. And this is a very content, this is the deer, you know, maybe having grazed and is now just lying down and taking a rest. The work has gone in. Now I just have to look and see the fruits of my labor. And the antlers are garland in flowers. That's on Strength card. Strength is a card of perseverance, and this is over time. This is somebody who's put in, you know, Pentacles speak to time. They speak to investment. Perhaps 7 years. And maybe over 7 years they were able to summon their courage because they grew. They grew from Page of Wands into King of Wands. They were reborn, Judgment card. Healed, balanced, and you know, in terms of their thinking and their perceiving, things are becoming clearer. They can see things more clearly. They're still in a kind of liminal space. You know, not arrived yet, but they're planning on the last leg of the journey. We have Leo and Sagittarius on the board. Okay, on the 6 of, oh wow, 6 of Swords, we have the Sun card, more fire energy, more Leo energy, in fact. divine masculine, which just means the active principle of, here I am, I'm revealing myself. It's transparent, it's right here. You know, I'm warm, I'm present. And there's a ladder over here. It's like I've ascended. You know, I've ascended on these wings to the top. Utmost happiness and warmth. And, you know, what you see is me. Not hiding anything. What were they hiding? What were they hiding? Well, they had a big internal struggle about something. In Wands energy again. They were trying to work something out. And it wasn't easy because there were cross purposes here. We've got the two birds kind of squawking at one another. I mean, there may have been mixed messages or, you know, plans that didn't work out. Fives indicate the need for change. And in this case, it's the need to work something out, to do it until you get it right. It can be resolving external conflicts. You know, somebody may have been, well, I'm not quite sure, because it could be internal or external. Working out how to do it, one's energy. And then there's sort of like, just begin, just get on the path. You know, this is a block energy, and just like, don't, you know, summon your courage. You know who you are, Pentacles energy. You've invested time in getting real. Pentacles speak to what's real and tangible. Overcoming this obstacle, Five of Wands. New life, judgment, and the obstacle, please. Ten of Cups. Again, the winged, right? Well, it could be, you know, the call to new life, to Ten of Cups, to this kind of happiness with somebody, you know, to determine how to get to be courageous enough to identify and get to this kind of happiness, this kind of second chance at love, basically. Judgment, Ten of Cups. Some kind of alchemical change, I think, because fives indicate the need for change. Some kind of alchemical change in that same fire energy. You know, you go into the cauldron. Alchemy isn't always easy, you know, finding your courage to do something, to blow past the self-doubts maybe, or interference from other people. It's hard enough to find the path. And this one does look a bit like they're lying in the way. Okay, tell me about Temperance and this Seven of Pentacles. Two of Swords, that's a block. That's the mind balking at something and taking a long time to assess, to make that decision. I mean, to enter the crucible, the cauldron, the mixing, the melting pot. You don't really get there by thinking your way in. You have to almost like fight your way in. I mean, this is a struggle. Perhaps against other people's idea of where you ought to go, what you ought to do, Wands energy. Somebody's King of Wands now. And it might be that they're getting strength from somebody who's invested a lot of time and energy in them. But the two are getting reconciled. And this is sort of like, there may have been a time when somebody thought this blend, this entering the crucible, you know, because that's entering the fire. That's like being boiled down. The transformation comes through the fire. But what lies on the other side of this path that this person has to break trail to do this, it has to be in a new way, involves a choice, Two of Swords, to move forward in that sword energy towards something calm and peaceful, and almost like this full lotus. Having the strength to heal, to redirect, to find the path, Page of Wands. Is it this? Eight of Cups. It involves walking away from something that perhaps is no longer, I mean, it's something that was loved. There was love here. But now it's a new path, right? Discovering perhaps higher love, perhaps through this courageous action to go into the crucible, you know, to go into the fire, into the melting pot. It's the love path. That's the direction. Out of the head, into the heart. You know, this headless one overseeing the blend, overseeing the alchemy. And the change is moving in the direction of love. Having the courage to do that. And I don't think you're doing it alone, although the support, the strength that you guys may be exchanging may all be on the 5D level. Like life may still seem unresolved, but you're working something out. And, you know, out of the kerfuffle, out of the block on the new path, inspired by what you feel about somebody. You feel a whole lot. Somebody feels some kind of way. It's new. It's transformational. It's a second chance. Somebody's going to take it. You know, they're starting to see the path forward, Page of Wands. You know, where do I go? The intention is to go there, and it's a new landscape. But they've X marks the spot. Is it this? It is. X marks the spot. Like they have the starting point in earth energy. You know, whatever the harvest is, whatever time has been spent nurturing Pentacles energy, this relationship, there's an opportunity for a new beginning. But it has to do with the potential energy. This is the seed that needs to be tended. And I think it was growing for a long time to come to fruition, to come to the place where it was actually pluckable. And maybe somebody had to get their pluck, their courage, their what was I thinking this morning that I needed more, it was like friskiness, but it wasn't quite that. It was really kind of pluck, intention, strength, knowing what to do and doing it. On the Ace of Pentacles, yes. I love this. That's the directional sense. That's creative. That's intuitive. You know, it's not making the decision really with the brain. Thinking about it won't get you there. You've got to break through this Five of Wands impasse. Some sort of change has to happen, and it's happened, but it's happened very slowly. And I think that this deer is like waiting. And I don't advise anybody to wait. And sometimes we have no choice. And it's not necessarily, and I don't say this enough, it's not necessarily a romantic love. You know, by any other name would smell as sweet. This is just connection that both people feel love, both people feel safe, both people enter the crucible. You know, it's not just one person going into the fire, it's both people to get this alchemical blend. And there's the opportunity for new life, new direction, new growth. Remember that sprouted wand? Here it is again. Being yourself, knowing yourself. Standing up for yourself. And accepting this invitation from the universe. Because, see, it's sort of the disembodied hand. The universe is offering an opportunity to do this, Wand's energy, to get real, to plant the seed, to grow something, to have the courage to stay. You know, and not in the sense of necessarily staying in one place, but, you know, not panicking, staying on the lotus, on the meditation cushion, on the, to tap into something that's not just cerebral. Two of Swords. The thinking about it won't get you there. I think maybe an earth sign or somebody just who represents that stability and authenticity. Perhaps is waiting for somebody to get in the, you know, the crucible too. And I think that's the intention. Because King of Wands is fire energy. I am the fire. There's a great Ram Dass quote that says, whether the fire purifies you or destroys you depends on who you think you are. And the fire cannot burn itself. And in truth, you are the fire. So it's a purification. It's like burning away all the bullshit. And if it's other people trying to influence this King of Wands, he's gone his own way. He's summoned the courage. He's King of Wands. You know, the little kind of petty concerns of other people wanting the king to do it differently, fighting against the change that this king has gone through. He's gone through this massive transformation because it's now completely transparent. He's not going to hide it from anybody. This is who I am. When everything else is burned away, you know, this is like the kindling. Under the cauldron. I can't make it up. You know, if this is getting the sense of direction, this is the destination. You know, it's joy, it's being in accord, it's meeting up with somebody who's also walking the path, each one, and meeting up, you know. It's like finding each other. And it's a cause for celebration. Working through obstacles to, sort of find the person who's on a parallel path. It's not the identical path. It's a blend of the two. That's a card of great happiness. Finding your way to this place. This is the destination. These people are ready. And they had to kind of grow into it. They spent a lot of time, each on their own individual path. And now the two are coming together in this alchemical cauldron. And the result is, like, we're ready. We're headed in the same direction. I love this reading. It looks very promising. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Four of Wands. And it's like at long last, we can reap the benefit, the fruits of our labor. It's led us here. This might be on the next holiday. There might be travel involved. X marks the spot. I know where to go and what to do when I get there. It's transformational. It's a transformation of the heart. 8 of Cups to the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands. It really, both cards in 3D. This is an opportunity to do it for real this time. Might not have been ready before. 7 of Cups. 7 of Pentacles. Things needed to mature. To get ripe. They're ripe. Looks like they're ripe. A second chance at love. Judgment. 10 of Cups. At connection. At meeting up someplace with somebody. I mean, it's 10 of Cups. All right, we have on the board the Judgment card. Leo in the Strength card. Sagittarius in Temperance. And Leo again in Sun. All fire signs. All King of Wands energy. All this guy who male or female, knows what they're going to do. And they'll push through the obstacles because they want a second chance at this. They know that this is their chance to find their way toward their 10 of Cups. Great emotional fulfillment. Strong enough to enter the crucible and so on. Yeah, I love you guys. And there was something I wanted to mention, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, it's really not that important, but a few of you have been trying to get the merch. The merch company called Spring is having problem apparently with their source, the warehouse that supplies them. So I've ordered some stuff, and friends of mine have, and it's not coming through. And this has been going on for weeks, and I've been hassling them. And I may have to switch to somebody else to get the It's a nice cup. I actually use it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there might be a time where I have to switch over, and there are some orders pending, so I don't quite know how to do that, but I'll work it out. I'll work it out. 5 of Wands. And this is sort of a something has to give energy. Calls for change. Can't stay in this unblended energy. It's time for the crucible. It's time for the blend. And it will set us free. 6 of Swords. Sun card. Great love, great happiness. Is that worth powering up for? No matter what we have to face. Yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.